Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today, we're going to ask the question, how much higher can we go with Bitcoin? What is going to happen? What has happened historically? We're going to look at some metrics. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to look at some liquidation levels. And before we get into all that, of course, you know what I'm going to say. If you're a watcher of the channel, smash those likes. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel. I do really appreciate all the wonderful comments that people do leave below. I do read and respond to all of those and the questions that get left there as well. I do look to get back to those as soon as I am able to. And don't forget about the cheat sheet. It is below in the description as my roadmap to crypto success. And there is also linked below in the description, the Stocks with Josh Discord, the most amazing Discord on the planet. This is the biggest party zone at the moment. Oh my gosh, was a big party zone. Did anybody do any work yesterday is the question. So yeah, if you're not in there, I'm in there in the crypto section of the Stocks with Josh Discord. There are a couple of plans you can sign up there below. I am also have now opened up my one-to-one trainings again. Okay, so this is the third time I'm opening up. I'll open up for a little while and then I will close it off again. So if you would like to inquire about the one-to-one trainings, and that's all that it is, just inquiring and finding more information about it. There's no obligation. There is an email below in the description of this video. And this is the safest way. Scammers cannot get in on this. Basically, you send me an email to that email address, and then I will email you back from that email address to keep it all safe and secure. And all you're going to do is send an inquiry and say, I'm interested in the one-to-one trainings. This is a paid training, and then I will simply send you a email back in reply with the details. And from there, if you'd like to move forward, you can. And if you decide not to, that's fine as well. Of course, there's no obligation there whatsoever. Okay, first of all, we are going to look at the cheat sheet. And the cheat sheet has been printing. We have our first take profit levels on Dogecoin at 42 cents. We did get in on this. Actually, we got in at around 10.4 cents was the last time I gave the trade. But if you had been buying from 8 cents and 9 cents, even 11 cents, even if you got the just in case bag, I gave the trade again at 13 cents. We are 400% up on this trade, or about 400%. So this is where I would take the profit off the table. And how does that work? If you put 1,000 into that trade and it's now at 4,000 or 3,000, then I'm going to be taking that 1,000 in rigid capital off the table and out of the market, and that is now safe, and the rest can run. Okay, so we are in the exciting part of the cheat sheet. Bitcoin, again, 89,000. If you are taking profit on Bitcoin, this is a place that you can take some profits, Bitcoin profits off the table at 89, and our next target is going to be 100. This one, 79K, I didn't take the profits off the table at 17K. We kind of just blew through it. And the way that it works is that if we hit one of these levels, we look how this level responds. Does it just break through? Then we can hold back on taking profits. Did it reject? And if it gets to that level of and it kind of rejects, and then we can set and we can manually take our profits, or we can set a stop loss if it happens while we're sleeping. So if it breaks back down, we can take those profits off the table, get that original capital as profit off the table. And then Bitcoin, it just blew through that level. And so therefore we didn't end up taking profits there. It just blew straight through. We waited, and now we're at 89,000. Certainly we can look at the charts and see, should we wait to take profits here at 89K, or is it going to blow through on the way to 100K, and should we wait there? So I've identified it as green. Now we're going to look, of course, at that. And then, of course, at SUI here, SUI has been printing. We got to our first take profit zone with SUI again. didn't have to take profit there can wait, but certainly if we were to lose that level, then taking that original capital out as profit is something that can be done. And for those who maybe didn't get these cheat sheet entries, I have the daily trades here, and we've been printing. This was just all from the last couple of days. These are all entries. Tau absolutely smashed it, as did Render. If you caught the Render trade, certainly Bonk, Blub, Banana have all done incredible gains there. And I will keep this updated periodically, but there are maybe still some trades there if we come back to those levels. I know we've come back to Tau and we've hit that 575 level, maybe that 552 level there, and maybe we can ride this one up again. However, we'll cover that in the altcoin show. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there. All right, we're going to jump in to some news, a couple of things. Number one, the question is, how higher can we go? This is the good question. So while retail interest in Bitcoin signals further capital inflows, spikes in search trends often align with price drops. In 2021, the top surges in search interest for Bitcoin coincided with corrections of 30%, 26%, 27%, and even 50%. Okay, and I've done some research here, and guess what? Google searches for Bitcoin reach a 2-year high. Okay, so this important level of 89,000 is important to watch. If we reject here, this is definitely a time, and this is not just taking Bitcoin profits, but this could be a time to take profits off the table for the altcoins as well. And then if we jump in here, everybody's waiting for their mum to call and ask if she should buy Bitcoin, but this is what your friends are asking, and it's true. I'm up X. Should I sell and buy again off the dip? I've made $1. Is it time to exit? Is it the blow off top? What do we feel the CME cap? Bitcoin is up. It's already 90K. Is this the top? People are too scared to make money this cycle. We waited years for this. Calm down. Take partial profits along the way. Use stop losses. Ride the wave. And I agree with this 100%. And this is why I've been saying to you guys, listen, as far as profits go, we are at the 89K level there. And so this is what we want to see. Right now, we've rejected at this 89,000 level, 87, 88,000. We're rejecting in this level currently. And so right now, if we stay rejected and it looks like we're underneath, then we're going to drop down to 83, and then you'll be wishing that you had taken profits. So you can either take profits here, or you can put a stop loss in, and where do you set the stop loss? How much profit do you want to give back? That's where you put the stop loss. Do you want to give $100 profit back? Are you okay with giving $1,000 profit in the hope that this will push on? I think we've got some top signals now. So if it's me personally, and this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, this is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? I'm taking profits here. But I'm not closing out the trades. And it's a win-win situation. Oh no, I took some profits. Oh no, it kept going up. Great. I'm still in the trade. I can take some more profits. Okay. It's not hard. Also, guess what? If it breaks above, retests the support and continues going, I can get back in and add more capital to it if I want to. So, not really worried about that. Remember, nobody ever lost money taking profits. The main reason that people lose out in the crypto market is simply because of this. We're here to take profits. We've spent all this time in the reaccumulation zone, and now people are too scared to make money. We've waited years for this, okay? So it's definitely time to, in my opinion, I'm putting some profits in the jeans, and if it keeps going, great, I'll take more profits. Last night I went to bed and I took some profits off the table, set my stop losses, went and had a sound sleep, woke up this morning and I'm still good, didn't get stopped out on anything in profit. And of course, that's how we go. Now, also just to keep in mind a couple of things, we've got the CME gap between 77,700 and about 81,100. These gaps generally get filled, and these gaps generally get filled sooner rather than later. Particularly in this cycle, the gaps have been filled within a fairly decent time frame. That's a significant drop. Now, here's the caution. These CME gaps don't always get filled. What is a CME gap? It's a CME market that trades until Friday and shuts down for the weekend and reopens up again. And whatever Bitcoin does, down or up, creates a gap. You can look up the CME futures gap or the CME gap on Google if you want a bigger breakdown on that, okay? We also have the fair value gap, a couple of fair value gaps, one from 70,000 to 600, 70,600, 74,600, and then another one from about around 76, 75,000, one in there as well. Of course, I still think we have a long way to go on this halving cycle. If you haven't looked at my Bitcoin video, when do I think the cycle top will finish? Generally, Bitcoin has topped out about 12 to 17 months. Each cycle, there was a 12-month top after halving. That would take us until about May of 2025. The other halving years, it was 16 months. That would take us through to about September. And one of the other halving years was 17 months, and that would take us through to about October 2025. So, and we could see it go a little bit earlier, like in August or in April if we adhered. I'm leaning more to the 16, 17 because we've got a little bit more data confirming that time frame there, the 16 and the 17 months afterwards, which would put us around September and October. Maybe if we go a bit longer, November, maybe if we're a bit shorter, August kind of time frame. But certainly be wary of that May 2025. The sell in May and go away, if we might not come back until the next bull market. So something to keep in mind there with that. So we've got CME gaps, we've got fair value gaps, we've got YouTube searches at a 2-year high. What also did Bitcoin do last time around this time in 2020? What we saw it do here, if you can see, is that here's November, and we kind of hit a high of 18,000 in November on November the 16th, the week of November the 16th, okay? A week preceding, we hit a high of about 16,000, so we went up a little bit more. So this is the week that we're in, I guess, right now, and then we went a little bit higher the following week, and then we went sideways, and we had a high of 18, then a high of 18, then a high of 19 there, slightly up. Before then, we took off, and that actually took through until mid-December, and it wasn't until mid-December that Bitcoin then took off again up until January, and then it cooled off again for the month of January. So from mid-November to mid-December, Bitcoin went sideways last time before going parabolic. So will history repeat itself? It doesn't always repeat, but it often rhymes. So that's just some interesting data there. And then if we come back to Bitcoin here, we can certainly see some Fibonacci levels, the $83,000 level. We do have the $79,000 level. We have the tribal trades trend line here, which I think will give some support here if it comes back. That's sitting at around 77,000, and that's where the CME gap is. So this 81 to 77,000 could be there. Certainly, remember, we did have a bit of a drop last, was there a little bit of a drop there? We did see a little bit of a drop here. So after topping in dropping here. So we did come down to about 16. So it did drop from 19 all the way down to 16 before recovering. So we could see something similar there where it drops down from like 89 to about 83, 77,000 there before recovering again into December there before taking off again. So that's something that obviously could happen there as well. But if you look at the liquidation levels, this is all building up here. These are all people that have borrowed money. They've gone highly leveraged longs, and if price gets to here, they will lose all of their money, or they will get stopped out at huge losses. And you can see now there's 168 million down at $75,000. And you've got more, 73 million, 74, and then down to 73, there's $92 million. So certainly there is a lot of liquidity there, and you can see the market makers just tend to follow where the liquidity is. We look on the 3-day time frame. Again, there is some liquidity up here at 90,000, suggesting we could jump up to that. But certainly you can see there's much more liquidity below price there. And if you go to the 40-hour time frame, again, there is a little bit of liquidity building up above price as well, but there is much more liquidity to the downside there, and you can keep going. This is a free tool. It's in my cheat sheet, so make sure you check out my cheat sheet. There's a resources tab. There's lots of tabs there. Again, on the 24-hour, we've got liquidity above and below, but there is a lot more liquidity that is below than above. Certainly on the shorter time frame, there tends to be here up at 90,500 and then down here at 86. So it's quite, what I'm seeing here is that if I'm a market maker and I want more people to go long and then create more liquidity down here, I could push price up here, liquidate some more shorts here at 90,500, bank another $69 million in profit, and then come back down for these lower levels that we've seen here, at these levels. So just keep this in mind. Certainly, we're here to take profits. Nobody ever lost money taking profit. Be careful out there. Watch these levels. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart and just see where we're at with that. Certainly now we have rejected from that 89,000 level, which is I identified as a take profit level. So certainly there is nothing wrong with taking some profits off the board if we see further rejection, and certainly have a kind of a line in the sand where if it goes below a certain point to be stopped out in profit. We don't want to see all those profits evaporate and then you're kicking yourself that you could have got in at lower prices here. Certainly, I have taken some profits off the board. I've taken some profits off the table. I have set my stop losses. I am prepared, and I have my buy orders set as well if we're going to drop down. And just remember this, and I'll share a little bit more about this in the altcoin show. Certainly, if we do see drops, altcoins can drop 20, 25, 30% very quickly and then bounce back up. And so I will be looking at setting some buy orders for my favorite altcoins, lower in price. So in case we have that little drop down, that little wick down, that we're not like, oh, I missed the buy orders. Don't miss the buy orders. Put them in now. Prepare for the dump now. Prepare for the buys before you need to buy. Then you're not scrambling. Then, I was away, I was working, I was at lunch, I was sleeping, something happened. No, you had your buy orders in for your favorite altcoins at those lower levels. We could get a little dump down in here. And as we saw from last November, that was the last chance when there was a drop from 19 to 16,000. That was the last chance before it took off and never came back again. So we could see a drop coming soon, and this could be our last chance to get in. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the show today. And until the altcoin show, which is in a couple of hours at about 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, happy trading.